Hey guys, welcome back. You are sitting on the hashtag MagnaOnAir digital network, magnasearchgroup.tv. It's Friday, the spotlight. We have a special guest in the studio today. We have the lovely Brittney Hogan. Brittney Hogan is an entrepreneur. She started her own apparel business, retail business, online business that's absolutely blowing up right now. She has a really unique, powerful story that we wanted to share with our community and our audience, and for us to really find out a little bit about who Brittney Hogan is. In the studio today, it's Michael Flint, Rory McMillan. We're excited to be here. Brittney, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Hi. Well, I'm Brittney Hogan. I was raised in Southern California, kind of all over the place. My parents got divorced when I was 9, and we moved around a lot. So I really was never in any place longer than a year and a half. So I'd never been to a school for longer than a year. So college really wasn't an option for me. And my family just didn't have the money for it. So I didn't go to college. But I've always kind of known that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and own my own business. So I took my GED when I was 16 years old and just went straight into the workforce. And my aunt gave me my first job working at an office, and I did receptionist stuff and learned QuickBooks. And I pretty much just worked my way up the corporate ladder since I was 16. Basically, my background's in accounting and bookkeeping. And just trying to learn everything that I could in every industry I was in to kind of take with me and apply it toward my own business. So I'd say it's paid off. I've gotten a lot of hands-on experience, so that's been nice.
Excellent. And who inspired you, Brittney, to start your business? Obviously, you started your career in finance. Who inspired you to get your business off the ground?
I can't say it's been like one person. I've met a lot of really great influential people my whole life who have inspired me. But my parents are really unconventional parents. They inspired us to just really think outside of the box, and they never expected us to go to college or be a doctor or a lawyer. They were just kind of like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. And they've always been super supportive. So when I've tried a lot of different businesses, that never really got off the ground. I guess that's what most entrepreneurs do.
Yeah.
But
trial and error.
Yeah, exactly. Trial and error. You gotta. If you don't fail, you're not trying. That's this true. One, right when it happened, and I thought of it, and it kind of all evolved and came together. Everyone was just like, yeah, 100%, you have to do it. So it was great.
I love the name of it, Virago Fitness. That name itself, it embodies the spirit of a heroic woman,
right.
Based on what Wikipedia says anyway. So
yeah.
would that kind of summarize, the passion and the energy and the enthusiasm and how maybe you see yourself in your brand?
Yeah, definitely. Even before, not to jump ahead, but even before I lost my husband, I was faced with a lot of hard things growing up, and I think I just had a lot of life experiences from a really young age, and I was always kind of just had to be everyone's parade and cheer everyone on and just keep going. That was my only option. And living with my mom and my two sisters, it was just a house of girls and girl power and strength, and that was it. So when I heard the name, I just knew it was perfect.
And how many girls within that house?
It was me, my two sisters, and my mom.
Okay. Yeah, I have 6 sisters, so I might actually tell them a little bit about this story. And Virago is the spirit of heroic femininity. They'll love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You touched on the subject of your husband briefly, and that motivated, I guess, your passion to be successful. Do you want to expand on that a little bit? Like how did that play into your entrepreneurship?
Yeah, definitely. So my husband, he was killed in Afghanistan 3.5 years ago. And before he was killed, I'd always, wanted to own my own business. And I was a wedding coordinator at the time out in North Carolina. And it was going really well. And then once he was killed, I hated weddings. I didn't want to go to any weddings anymore. So I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And it took a really long time for me to get better, from it all. But I was still me deep down inside, and I still had all of these dreams of being an entrepreneur and of not going back to a 9 to 5 job.
Yep.
And I'm finally starting it. So I guess it was the realization that, life is so short, and I need to finally follow my dreams and do something that's going to make myself proud and him proud. So he was a big part in it, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's an important realization, not just for entrepreneurs, but people in general. When you realize that living for the moments and not putting things off for tomorrow that you can do to today, it's a very spiritual yet powerful motivation. That when you gain that awareness, the world's your oyster, so to speak. And you're right.
Definitely.
We're here for a short period of time, so let's make the most out of life for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So going back to Virago Fitness, Brittney, like what does that company obviously represent? Like what's the bigger picture for Virago Fitness? Like what's next?
Okay, so we pretty much promote anything that's good for your mind, body, and health. And I started the company because after losing my husband, I was just super depressed and drinking all the time, and I turned to running and I turned to fitness, and that just completely changed my life. And I knew that I couldn't be the only person going through things like this, and other people, were probably looking for something to help them through hard times. And so I want to share with people my story and how I found fitness, and why it's helped me so much. And so that's kind of our slogan is turn your struggle into strength, and we have t-shirts with it on there. And it's basically Virago is just, I'm hoping that it will serve as an outlet for people to use fitness as a way of coping and inspire post-traumatic growth. That's the bigger picture. And, we have apparel. We're going to do footwear eventually. My father's a shoe designer, so he's going to help me with that. Yeah, so that was great. But, it's not just, I want to make it very clear to people that it's not just about the clothing. It's not about our products. It's about creating a community and getting a team of people together to, create camaraderie and to help people with things that they're going through. And that's what we want to stand for as a company.
Okay. Your current community, is it based in the San Diego, California area, or do you have a network across the United States working with different veteran organizations? Right now, because it just started, it's only in San Diego that we actually get together. Okay. We will be doing some virtual races. I have networks all over the country, so I definitely want to get into that very soon. But right now, since I'm in San Diego, that's the only thing I've been able to do so far.
Mm-hmm. Is there anyone else right now, Brittney, involved in your business, in your organization? Are you the sole CEO, president, running and managing the day-to-day activities?
I'm the sole CEO. I'm the only employee. I'm trying to keep it that way for at least a year before I have to expand. But I've got brand ambassadors right now. I just signed a brand ambassador named Nate Boyer, and he is a former Seattle Seahawk, a Green Beret.
Wow.
Was a Texas Longhorn, and he's amazing. He's got a great story, and I'm just trying to find people who already have networks, and they are they're set up with people that recognize them for anything that they're doing that I think works well with Virago. Yep. And basically that's how I'm trying to expand with them and getting the word out. So that's been great.
Yeah, no, I think that's smart. I know that there'd be a lot of synergies with other individuals, as you say, that have gone through similar experiences. Right. I think there's also a culture of health and wellness, especially on the West Coast. So being able to turn in this case, a traumatic experience into something that can be an example to others that helps them build and develop and kind of get through to the other side. I think there's something real strong there. Powerful. Mm-hmm.
So the next steps for Virago, Brittney, is obviously you're looking to get as many brand ambassadors on your brand as possible and really try and push the movement. Are you focusing solely in the United States right now, or looking to push it out into Canada?
Honestly, ever since the the article kind of blew up on LinkedIn, I wasn't even thinking about shipping anywhere outside of the United States. I wasn't thinking about expanding anytime soon. I mean, it's been in the last couple months, it's just completely blown up. And I'm like, oh, wow, I need to ship to these places and I need to start thinking about, other places in the world. And it's really something I wasn't ready to think about. But I'm definitely, if people approach me or I am able to find people, in any other countries who want to get involved and who want to be a brand ambassador, or I think they'd be a good fit, then definitely 100%.
Yeah, I think we could definitely use some in our studio here. I'd love to wear that clothing. It's really a true message behind it, which is great. And so I want to talk, going back, you mentioned about social media, you posted something on LinkedIn. I think that's how our colleague originally reached out to you, was on LinkedIn. Like, that article blew up, right?
Yeah.
It got so much engagement. How has the feedback been from people in regards to that post that you published?
Amazing. It's, I started Virago to help people, but I just never in a million years thought it would be this quickly. Mm-hmm. And the emails that I'm getting from people from all over the world, Dubai, India, and telling me that everywhere, telling me that they, were inspired by my story and they were going to stop running, but then they thought of me and did their best time ever on a half marathon. It's like, oh my gosh.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
It's completely blown me away and touched my heart.
Wow. Would it be fair to say that that's one of the most rewarding things that you found so far since the inception of your company? Is that feedback, the shared camaraderie?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
100%. So what would be one of your recommendations to an entrepreneur, someone looking to start their own business, whether it's apparel or whether it's anything that person decides to do? What is that one key characteristic that person would potentially need in order to start their business? Obviously, not knowing what you know now.
Well, besides, I've got a lot of suggestions as far as the business aspect of it, but from a personal aspect, I would say, don't give up. You have to, like I said before, if you're not failing, you're not trying. Yeah. And it's, most small businesses fail in the first year of business. Mm-hmm. So if you can get past that first year, you're going to run into a lot of things that just you want to completely give up, but you have to stick with it and you have to follow your heart. Because like I said, life is short, and when your life is over, what are you going to have to show for it? That's what you have to remember every day when you get out of bed. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Something I've picked up from you as well is just, having a genuine passion, for your brand and your vision, and the successful entrepreneurs that I've met, I think that's probably the common thread. Is they have a genuine enthusiasm for their idea, and people are able to see that and relate to that because it's it's true, it's from the heart. I think that's a big part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's so important.
So what's the next steps for Virago Fitness and yourself? Obviously, you're getting a lot of attention right now. You're out there in the media. What's the next 5 to 10 year plan for you?
5 to 10 years. I'm just trying to keep it going. I'm trying to, now that I have the exposure, I want to finally, spend time on being creative and tying in all of the things that I've wanted to do with this company and make it happen. So that's, I'd say, within the next 5 years. Within the next 10 years, my biggest goal with Virago is to open a manufacturing facility in America and produce all of our products 100% in-house and hire mainly veterans and their families to run it, because I just really believe in bringing industry and manufacturing back to America and creating jobs for our veterans. I just think it's really important.
And where are you manufacturing today?
In LA.
In LA, okay. So yeah, there's a real solid network of local ragtride there for sure. Yeah. Are you selling in stores yet, or just online?
No, I'm only selling online, and what I was faced with when I first started, it's like, I'm not Nike, I'm not Adidas. So what is going to make people buy my clothes? It's my story. And then also I have to have good prices. They have to be affordable, because that's what's going to make them choose mine over the quality that they know and love of Nike or, the big companies. Yep. So I had to keep my prices down. And now that I'm kind of getting bigger and I'm being faced with, do you want to sell to, stores and sell wholesale? My profit margins, they're not allowing it. And I'm okay with that. I think I'm just going to stay with selling online because I don't want to get huge and raise my prices for my customers. I still want it to be affordable for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And spread the message. More about the message, right? It's more about
exactly.
Yeah. Well, you have to
brand integrity.
You have to balance that with domestic production, as you know. And I think a lot of new brands that want to keep it local to local and be able to walk into the factory and see their product on the floor and maintain their own quality control. And have that visibility from throughout their supply chain. I think there's something strong there as well, because you can bring your product to market on your own, and you don't need the stores necessarily. I think
absolutely.
Exactly.
And how can people find out about you, Brittney? For our audience, our community watching, where can people go to find out about you?
Virago it's Virago-fitness.com. And they can go to the website and, we've got an e-newsletter they can sign up for.
Great.
To get all of our updates and our specials. And even if, when we do expand and there are events going on in their area, they can find out about it through there as well. And we're on Instagram and on Facebook. It's just Instagram/Virago Fitness. Same with Facebook and Twitter.
Do you sponsor any events like Tough Mudder or any of that stuff?
Athletes?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's kind of what we're doing with the brand ambassador. Just I'm trying to find athletes, basically to be ambassadors that have great stories. But we've also done a couple runs here in San Diego. We did Jogging for Frogmen. That is a really, really great 5K that they put on, and it's for the Navy
SEALs, right?
Yeah,
Frogmen. Yeah. That's a hybrid Ranger, correct? Frogman?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. My G.I. Joe days.
Yeah. So that was a really great one. We did that last year, and it was an awesome turnout. And we're going to do it again this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Brittney. It's absolutely a pleasure having you on our show today. To our audience, to our community, you're sitting on the spotlight. We're bringing you great shows, great content each and every week. Brittney, absolute pleasure having you on our show today.
Sure.
Make sure you guys check her out. She's got a powerful message. She's got a powerful brand, and we only want to help you become bigger and become better. So thank you so much for being in the studio today.
Thanks,
Michael
guys.
Flint, Rory McMillan. See you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.